Are you ready to turn your art and design project briefs from daunting challenges into exciting opportunities? Well, buckle up because in this video, I'm sharing the insider's guide to project brief mastery. It's time to unleash your creativity and smash your grades. So let's dive right in. When you face an art and design project brief, it might seem overwhelming at first, but fear not. I've broken it down into 8 essential steps and I've created a free downloadable checklist that will not only help you excel in your assignments, but also elevate your creative skills too. You'll find that in the description below. And here you can also download the project brief we'll be using and follow along yourself. Step 1, understanding and interpreting the brief. Get a highlighter pen and make sure you've got your sketchbook handy to capture any initial ideas. Have a first pass over the brief, quickly skim read it from start to finish, and then go back over the brief for a more in-depth read with your highlighting pen. The most important things to find out are the deadline and any size dimensions and a target audience if you're a designer. Step 2, initial ideas. Next, highlight any key elements of the brief and draw boxes around the areas you feel are important. Use your sketchbook to capture any early ideas as thumbnail sketches. It's like catching butterflies. Don't let any of your ideas flutter away. Step 3, research. Whether you're a fine artist, architect, or textile designer, you'll be following the design development process, and this starts with research. We'll be exploring the research, annotation, and ideas phase in much more detail in a future video. But for now, you need to know that the research you carry out needs to be focused, targeted, and you'll need to show how the research is influencing your own ideas. You do this through making written and visual notes. Try and work as quickly as you can to generate a really wide range of ideas. And please, 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 don't just scrapbook a load of images. Select a few at a time and try and develop some initial ideas from these before moving on to more images. I'm going to provide you with an in-depth list of questions you can use as prompts for your research and annotation in future videos, but for now, use the what, why, and how method. What is it you're drawn to about the image you've included in your sketchbook? Why have you put it in? Is it the colors, the media, the composition, or the concept? And finally, how might you apply this to your own ideas? Use small sketches alongside these notes to show how your ideas are being inspired by your research. Step 4, generating ideas. Once you've got some initial ideas captured, you need to generate more detailed and refined concepts based on these. There's lots of different ways of generating ideas that we'll be exploring in future videos, but for now, just remember that your early ideas are often not your best ideas. So treat this phase like a game where you're testing yourself to come up with as many ideas and creative variations as possible. Annotate your sketches and designs, explaining your thought processes, including notes on how the ideas meet the project brief requirements and any choices you're making, such as color, composition, image, and typography. Step 5, using research to inspire media experimentation and sampling. The purpose of your research is to help you generate ideas. We're not just collecting pretty pictures, it's got a job to do, so use your research to identify possible media, materials, techniques, and processes you could apply, adapt, and combine in your own work. Show a clear link between your research and your media experimentation in your annotation. This is not only going to help you get higher grades, but it'll also help you reflect on your own processes too. Step 6, design development and refinement. In this phase, we need to select our most promising concepts for future development and include our decisions and thought processes as we work through our annotation. Create more detailed designs and mock-ups and consider composition, color, typography, and other design principles and choices you're making. Remember, you're in control of all of these visual aspects. Use the feedback you gain from your tutors and your peers and your own self-assessment to continually refine your designs until it clearly meets the requirements of the brief. Step 7, producing and presenting a final design for assessment. So we're on to creating our final designs. For us to gain the maximum grades, we need to create something special and something that looks refined and professional. You can really only do this well if you've given yourself enough time and have explored and refined a range of ideas. If you've jumped on your first idea and gone straight to final, not only is that limiting your potential, but you've also given yourself a really boring task of making up all of the research, annotation, and design development, which is a massive waste of time. Execute your final design with attention to detail and craftsmanship, and ensure you incorporate elements you've identified in your research and media experiments into your work. Prepare a professional presentation which may include a portfolio, a PowerPoint, or an exhibition setup. Remember to review your work against a project checklist to make sure you've clearly met the requirements of the brief. Now, this is the most important part. Make sure you meet your deadlines. As artists, and particularly designers, your professional reputation hangs on you being able to work to tight deadlines. And because if you don't, you'll lose your client and you'll lose business. And finally, step 8, write a project evaluation. Reflect on your creative journey and the evolution of your project. Assess the strengths and weaknesses of your final design and discuss any challenges you faced and how you overcame them. Consider the effectiveness of your design in meeting the project's objectives. And finally, document your personal insights, lessons learned, and areas for improvement. You've now got a roadmap to tackle any art and design project brief with confidence and creativity. Whether you're a budding artist or a seasoned designer, these steps will guide you towards success. For more expert guidance, tips, and inspiration, hit that subscribe button and ring the notifications bell so you never miss out on content that can take your art and design education to the next level. So let's dive right in. When you face an art and design project brief, it might seem overwhelming at first, but fear not. I've broken it down into 9-8-8-8. And I've created a free downloadable checklist that will not only help you excel in your assignments, but also elevate. You'll also, you can also, and here you can also download the project brief and follow along yourself. The most important thing to find out is the deadline and any size, dimensions, and target audience that you've got as a designer. So, consider the effectiveness.